Hi, this is Nick with IndieGameBundles.com, your #1 spot for info about all indie bundles. In this episode of 10 Indie Minutes, we'll be looking at Spelunky. Now, hopefully you guys have heard about this. It's one of my very favorite roguelikes out there. It's a randomly generated action platformer by Derek Yu, and it's been around for a few years, but it's been garnering quite a following, and it's actually gotten the go-ahead for a release on Xbox Live Arcade, and there should be a version of that coming hopefully by the end of the year. But you guys can go download and play this game right now for free, and it's outstanding. It's got a lot of strategy to it. It's got a lot of exploration, random elements. Basically, every time you start this game, you're going to be presented with a completely different cavern to explore, and the goal is really simple. I mean, collect as much treasure as you can, go for the best score you can, and just try and stay alive. Now, there is a definite ending to this game, but I haven't gotten there yet, and I've been playing this game for quite a few years. I'm not the best at it, but I've definitely improved quite a bit. And what I mean when I say improved is there's a lot of little strategies and techniques you have to learn to stay alive for a bit longer than you might have if you didn't know about them. And one of those such strategies is making sure that you get any ladies you might find to the exit successfully in order to raise up your score. There's also the fact that you can hold on to pots and rocks and make sure you throw those in the way of any traps you might find, like that arrow trap that you see down there on the bottom left. Now, unfortunately, the lady gets knocked out pretty easily, and she's going to go run and fall off that cliff, but she'll be fine, don't worry. So you have to make sure that you know where you're going and what's ahead of you whenever possible, because pretty much you get 4 hits, you're done. There are ways to get your health back, and there's a lot of special items, and you get to use bombs and ropes in the course of your exploration. But, you know, you gotta be really careful, because one wrong move could pretty much kill you. And in the case of spikes and quite a few other traps, it will happen all the time. And you'll see there's little gold deposits scattered all throughout the area, and you can actually get to those with bombs or pickaxes or a number of other explosives. You'll see I made a bit too far of a jump there, so that actually gave me a bit of damage. So now I'm down to 2 hits left. And I stupidly threw a bomb and it didn't work out, so I just left the level because I didn't want to explode. So basically the game's broken up into a series of levels, and the levels are broken up into a series of something like chapters. And there's actually a few different themes to these areas. You're going to see the standard starting area, which is like the underground mine area, and then there's sort of an Amazonian-looking jungle type that you'll see towards the end. There are also, as you just saw there, shops that you can use your treasure to purchase things from, and there's another commodity that you can expend your gold and hard earnings on, which you'll see later. There's actually a guy you'll encounter that can open up shortcut doors and allow you to skip ahead. There's also a few scripted events, like that there's an altar up there that you can actually make blood sacrifices with. So you'd actually bring the poor innocent lady and drop her there, and you will get a reward for that. And you can see me tripping that trap with the rock there. In addition to those scripted events, there's also another one where you basically see a giant golden idol, and if you pick it up, a huge rock will come and smash you. So you have to make sure you can get out of the way in time. And you can damage yourself. As you saw, I just hit myself with an arrow by accident, and I also almost bombed myself by accident, and I did that already before when I was coming through to the new area. And now I feel like I'm almost trapped, but since the platforming is pretty decent in this, you can actually grab onto ledges, and if you're really good at it, get around some edges too. Now I choose to map my controls to an Xbox controller using joy to key, but that's not required. The keyboard controls are just fine. And you'll see there's treasure chests scattered all around. There's actually some locked treasure chests and enemies you have to watch out for. And the enemies get significantly harder when you go on to the next area. They start out almost passive in the first area with a few exceptions. You know, there's spiders and snakes, and sometimes you'll come across the odd caveman, which is always an entertaining battle. So there's another shop here. You can pick up a number of different supplies like extra rope or climbing gloves. And a lot of this stuff you actually learn experientially by playing the game over and over, what they do and what the advantages of having them are you can actually walk across spikes and fall on them from, I believe, 1 tile, but anything above that and you insta-die. And when I say insta-die, I mean you start over from the first level again, unless you've opened up a shortcut, which in my case I haven't. You can also drop on enemies' heads to kill them, and there's bats and spiders down there, which I'm going to do my best to hit with arrows. You can get guns, as you saw before. I didn't want to spend my money on it. I'm trying to hoard money so I can open up the shortcut to the next area, because it kind of sucks playing over the beginning 100 times. You'll see I have about 20 deaths on my total when the stats come up at the end. But I've actually played this a lot more than 20 times. I just had a new save file. But that's the great thing about this game, is you can pretty much play it indefinitely and it never gets old, since the game comes up with new stuff every single time. And I'm trying really carefully not to activate this spider and have him come get me. I just want to smack him when he's up on the ceiling there. And the trick was to hit my whip and then jump instead of doing the other way around. So yeah, rock, I don't know, I'm thinking about getting that box, but screw it, let's go on to the next level. So you can see I've amassed quite a bit of treasure here. I have 23,100 gold, and that's going up quickly. So I probably could have spent some of that on some of the weapons, or tried to get some upgrades or something that'll help me stay alive longer, but I'm just trying to sort of rough it on what little resources they give me to start. And that's a useful technique to know about, that you can actually look down by holding down the down button for a while. You can use just about any item that you pick up to kill enemies, so that's another strategy I didn't know about at first. So I'm actually carrying around this key looking for the treasure chest, and also using the key to kill all my enemies in the way. That pot actually had a snake in it, which is another thing I learned to do, is to make sure that you try and kill the pots as if they were enemies. You might have caught the brief glance of the golden idol up at the top. I chose not to bother with the scripted event on this one, because most of the time the giant rock kills me. It actually takes out a lot of the scenery and decorations on its way down at you. So if you're not really smart, you can pretty much get crushed every time. And it was rather wise that I checked my way down before I tried to fall, because if I would have fallen, I think, a couple tiles longer, I would have actually taken my last hit of damage there. And here's the tunnel man. He digs shortcuts. So you can see it's adding up what I have in terms of total money, and since I want to speed up the process of him digging that shortcut, I'm going to give him as much money as I possibly can. So he's taken all 30 grand. And I'm okay with that, because his service is about the best thing that you can ask for. So here we are in the second area. This is the jungle biome, or whatever you want to call it if you're a Terraria fan. You'll see the enemies here are much, much more deadly. Right there, there's like a piranha plant eating I don't know what, and then it just got hit by some sort of blood gib and passed out. So I'm kind of confused as to what I should be doing to get down, but I realized actually I could just jump on that ledge. But I'm blocked by a tree in that direction, so I have to deal with this piranha somehow. I'm gonna smack it with the key. That seems like a good plan. And then I can actually pick up its fallen body, and I'm going to try and throw it away so it can't wake up and chase me anymore. Now, keeping in mind, I have exactly 1 hit of health, so anything that hits me right now, I'm dead. Ideally, I would find some way to raise my health back up a little bit, but right now I don't have the opportunity. That caveman just about got me. That was really close, and I'm avoiding those spikes, which are, again, 1-hit death. And picking up a little bit more treasure. I'm carrying this key around mostly just for protection at this point, since I don't have a ranged weapon other than my bombs, which are not really that great for weapons. They're more like defensive or terrain sculpting tools. And that frog wants me dead, so I'm kind of out of here. I don't want to deal with these guys anymore. So level 5 completed. You can see I just racked up a bunch of kills with some strange enemies there. And that frog, this is actually the first time I encountered him, so I didn't know exactly what his deal was. I figured I killed him right there, but I did not. He explodes, and that was the end of me. But as far as runs go, I think that was reasonably successful. I don't usually make it this far, to be honest, but that's why I'm working on opening up that shortcut. So you can actually keep track of your high scores in the score area there and try and beat your last high score and compare with friends and all that good stuff. But this is a quick look at Spelunky. Go download it, game's awesome, totally free. And keep a lookout for it coming out on Xbox Live Arcade very soon. This is Nick with IndieGameBundles.com, and this has been 10 Indie Minutes with Spelunky.